the documents that you're showing that as the primary document, the general plan, specific plan, the local coastal plan, are planning documents. Are there going to be other implementing documents that are going to go concurrently, and will there be an environmental document that'll kind of bundle this up, or what's the process?
The port has prepared and circulated previously a draft environmental impact report on the overall master plan that basically addresses all of the uses and all the environmental effects associated with the entirety of the project. There were a lot of comments that were received on that. That document has been taken back. It's being re-refined. The port is the lead agency on that environmental impact report, and it addresses all those issues.
But was that on a program level of specificity?
No, it turns out that it's on a program. Again, and I'm talking from the EIR that was released before, because I don't want to look ahead to what the new EIR might say. I mean, there's ways to address that, but in just knowing what we have already published, the environmental impact report, which was distributed previously, had both the Pacifica residential project and the Gaylord project circulated for the purpose of project level environmental review. And frankly, that was a big part of the commentary on it, because there was some hope that maybe there would be better specificity on that.
Are there other documents that will need to be provided later on to implement some of this, maps and zoning documents and those kinds of things? Do they come later on, or how does that work in the process?
With the EIR, which was circulated previously, attached to that document was a draft of the amendment of the port's overall master plan, including this segment, together with a draft of amendments to the city's municipal code, which contains the Bayfront specific plan. So there was a draft actually attached to that. That is the zoning and regulatory document.
Specific plan will be the zoning document.
And yeah, and that's the document that is our implementation program for the local coastal program as well.
Will there be additional design guidelines that will be published at some point, or?
Essentially what will happen is, after the adoption of this, those guidelines and those parameters for development, and again, really, we're mostly talking about the site that Pacific ends up with, so we're talking about a relatively constrained piece of property. And so there are criteria that are in that draft planning document and will be updated for re-release in the draft planning document to reflect whatever plan is next sent out. That really sets the design parameters for the parcel. The Pacifica, as a residential developer on that parcel, if the preferred plan is pursued, would be obligated to a coastal development permit, which would go through a review cycle, but that's after the certification of the EIR and after the land exchange, of course.
And because you have Port Authority and you've got City Authority, this is all within the municipal boundaries of the City of San Diego, City of Chula Vista. It's
within the corporate limits of the City of Chula Vista, and then there are jurisdictional issues that associate themselves with how the two agencies operate on land.
The general plan will be a City of Chula Vista document.
Yeah, and the general plan amendment, in some respects, as our current general plan does, reflects the land uses there without really talking about who it is that implements. We reflect their master plan in our general plan so that we can total up units and total up square footages and do all those kinds of things.
And our role at CVRC will be to advise the redevelopment agency and city council as the appropriate time comes.
Yes, on the general planning documents and then the coastal development permit later on date.
Okay.